coursebook, page 147. But before we start, I want you to check the objectives of our lesson for today. These objectives are: you have to write a short summary of an informative article. You have to use the past and present tenses correctly. You have to guess the meaning of words from context. Let's start with our lesson. Use of English. Present and past tenses. As we all know that we use the present simple and continuous to talk about habits and ongoing actions in the present. For example, many people live on the banks of the Nile now and are using its waters to grow crops. Many people live here is in the present simple tense. Are using is in the present continuous. Okay, the next part. Use the past simple and continuous to talk about finished and ongoing actions at a finished period of past time. For example, many people were farming on the banks of the Nile when Ibn Battuta made his journey across Africa. Made here in the past simple. The second verb, where farming is in the the past continuous. Okay. Use the present perfect to link the past with the present. People have lived on the banks of the Nile for many centuries, and this way of life still continues today. Have lived here means that they were living and they are still living today. They are still living there today, for today. So here we link between the past and the present. After reading the use of English books in your course book, let's check the main form of each tense and what do we use it for. Starting with present simple and present continuous tense. Present simple, we use subject plus verb in the infinitive form without any additions. This is with I, we, you, and they. We add s with he, she, and it. This is the present simple form. We use the present simple to express general truths or to speak about facts, to speak about habits, things that you do every day, every week, every month. We use the present simple to speak about them. For example, it rarely rains in the desert. If you notice that here we add s with the pronoun it. The second tense, present continuous. We use subject plus am, is, or are, not in the negative form, plus verb plus ing. As you know, we use am with I, we use is with he, she, it, we use are with we, you, and they. We use this tense, present continuous, to describe actions happening now, something which is still happening at the moment of talking. She is reading a newspaper upstairs. She is reading at the time of speaking. She is reading now upstairs. Okay? Let's move to the past simple and continuous tense. Simple past or past simple, both are right. We use the simple past to talk about completed actions, habits, and facts in the past. Completed actions, something that had happened and finished. Habits and facts in the past. For example, I went to the cinema yesterday. I always visited my grandparents in my summer holidays when I was little. I lived near Liverpool for a couple of years. Lived, verb plus D, live plus D, visited, visit plus ed, was the second person of is, went the second person of go. So the form of the past simple is the second person or verb plus d or ed with regular actions. Okay? The second, past continuous. The past continuous is used to express interrupted actions, specific time as an interruption and parallel actions. Something that had happened in the past and finished, but it was continuing to a specific time. Okay? For example, I was watching TV when the phone rang. Last night at 7 p.m., I was having dinner. While she was doing her homework, her brother was playing football. If you noticed, the form of the tense here was plus verb plus ing with I, he, and she. With we, you, and they, we used were plus verb plus ing. This is the form of the past continuous. After that, we have the structure of the present perfect tense. We use the present perfect tense as we have read in our course book to link between past actions and the present ones. The form of the present perfect and the affirmative form, we use subject plus have or has plus past participle. I have tried sushi before. Past participle here is verb 3. We use have with with I, we, you, and they. We use has with he, she, and it. I'm very sorry. We use have with I, we, you, and they. We use has with he, she, and it, plus past participle or verb 3. The negative form, subject plus have or has not, plus past participle. I haven't tried sushi before. Interrogative or forming a question, we use have or has as a question word, plus subject plus past participle. For example, have you tried sushi before? We have finished the lesson of rivers of life. Now it's time for the next lesson, the Nile River. The first exercise in this lesson is reading exercise. Read the text, then tell your partner 3 things you have learned about the River Nile. We will discuss this question on our group. The Nile. In the past, the ancient Egyptians called the longest river on our planet Ar or Ur, which means black, because after the river flooded, it left behind black sediments. Nowadays, the most common name of this river is Nile or Nil in Arabic and Nile in English. The Nile flows for 6,700 kilometers through 10 different African nations, and its large delta meets the Mediterranean Sea on the coast of Egypt. Throughout history, there have been many expeditions to discover the source of the Nile in the 19th century. Many people believed the source of the Nile to be Lake Victoria. But nowadays we know that the real source of the Nile is probably one of the many the smaller rivers that flow into Lake Victoria. However, we still don't know which one, and explorers from all over the world still travel to Africa to try to solve this mystery. Lake Victoria is definitely the source of the White Nile, one of the two big tributaries of the Great Nile, the Great Mother River, which flows down to the sea. The other main tributary is the Blue Nile, which comes from Lake Tana in Ethiopia. The two meet in Sudan to form the Great Nile, which flows into Egypt. When it finally meets the sea, the Nile Delta is about 160 kilometers long and covers 240 kilometers of coastline. The sea tides bring salt water into the Nile's estuary, where it mixes with fresh water. This is home this is home to some of the biggest reptiles in the world, the Nile crocodiles. Okay, this text was about the Nile. What are the information that you have learned about the Nile River? I want you to write them in the comments, okay? After that, we have an exercise about the text. Read the text again. Are the sentences true or false? You will write T beside the true sentences, false beside the false ones. The longest river on earth has changed names through times. It's true. The second, open your course book and write the answers at your books, please. Number 2, the Nile is an international river. No, it's not. So this is false. The source of the Nile is no longer a mystery. It's false. It is still a mystery. Number 4, sorry, 3. The source of the Nile is no 4. I'm so sorry, Shabab. Number 4, the Nile is made up of other smaller rivers. It's true. Number 5, the Great Nile is formed in Ethiopia where the two tributaries meet. This is false. Exercise number 3 is listening. I'm going to send you the audio at your group. Two friends are talking about a documentary they have just watched on TV. Which of these things do they not mention? The answer will be a dam. Read the listening strategy books, then listen again and tick correct the sentences that are correct. This is exercise number 4. The girls hadn't heard of the Nile before watching the documentary. This is wrong. Number 2. The girls agreed that the Nile crocodiles are scary. They agreed for this, so this is correct. Number 3. The documentary told the story of a man who was killed by a crocodile. This is wrong. The girls would like to visit different parts of Egypt. This is correct. I hope that you wrote all these answers at your course book. This is the last part of our lesson for today. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, send them to me directly and be prepared to answer the worksheet about this lesson. Have a good day.